Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk about some Tesla products that have been combined into a home. But first, let's roll that title, Casey.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. With me, as always, we have Mr. Casey Green joining us from the Mid-Atlantic. How are you today, sir?
Doing quite well.
Excellent, excellent. And on the West Coast, Mr. Patrick Connor joins us. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, we wanted to, I guess, just throw a little curveball here. We're going to talk a little bit about housing and a new housing development that has opened up in Houston, Texas, that has weighed heavily on using Tesla products for those houses. We've got we talked about this. It's a townhome setup. I'm sorry. What was the final verdict on what these homes are called?
Probably row houses would be closest.
Row houses. Okay. So we've got a 3-story row house that is using a Tesla solar roof, as well as Powerwall, and of course, as well as having a charge port in the garage available too. But what's interesting is that these homes, selling in the range of somewhere between $500,000 and $525,000, have been extremely popular because I would say one of the reasons is because of what utility they're connected to in Texas. We know that Texas, there's been a number of stories about how they have some disruptions in storms. They have some issues with that, with their utility, which is regulated to Texas. And this house gives the purchaser the confidence to know that this house will be independent if it needs to from the power grid. It will take its own power from the power wall and allow the homeowner to enjoy electricity, even if there is an outage in the greater neighborhood or area that the house is located in. So this is kind of like a safety net that comes with the house and doesn't come with most houses. But using the 3 different Tesla products, of course, they all combine with the Tesla app and allows someone that is using it greater visibility about what's going on around them. It gives the Powerwall the ability to know about a storm watch. They know if something's coming their way, and it knows to maybe charge up a few hours before. Because it knows that there may be interruptions, and it's better to have a fuller battery at that point than less. So the intelligence in the software is going to help them with that hardware, the Powerwall itself. So this is kind of interesting that there are more of these developments starting to come out, and of course, the more that do come out, and the popularity of them, and the ability for the developer to sell them is going to spur on more of this. And this is great because we've talked about this many times in the past on the Tesla Live show, and that is that this resiliency, being able to help the grid by being independent, and the ability to help the grid by feeding back into it when you no longer require the energy, is a plus for both the community and the individual homeowners. Both of those people turn out as winners in that scenario. So not a surprise to, of course, Patrick and Casey, who both have these types of setups and have been championing how this is a great system and that more of it should happen. But what's nice about this is it's a brand new development, and they get to incorporate those costs into the build of the house. So the person that's buying it doesn't have to worry about retrofitting the house at a later date. They can buy a house that was specifically designed for this type of scenario. And that keeps costs as low as they can be.
Mhm.
And it also helps the homeowner because they don't have to worry about it in the future. It's all part of the home warranty because it was a new house and it was designed into it. But this is great news, and to see that they sold out quickly, another plus. So I bet you this developer, whoever they are going to be thinking about, well, how do we incorporate this into our next larger subdivision or area of town that we've bought a parcel of land for and are looking to develop.
I still think community solar would be a good next step for these. You have your Powerwall for when stuff happens, but then, like the playground and the barbecue pit covered with pergola solar, and then the whole neighborhood is just mostly off grid or mostly turning a profit from the utility company, and then it doesn't matter how much individual roof space you have. We've seen this with a couple neighborhoods that have neighborhood ground source heat pumps with a loop that runs through the whole neighborhood. So it's a lot less expensive to install than it would be with individual homes each installing their own ground source heat pumps, because the whole neighborhood's on the same loop. And it's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, community solar is great, but even this, we've talked about how the Texas grid is not reliable. In the winter, they have outages. In the summer, they have outages. So because they have high demand for air conditioning in the summer, and then they are not winterized. So when they do get one of those Arctic blasts that come through, all the states north of them that are used to handling that are fine. But Texas, that is made for maximum profit, not maximum reliability, is failing. And so, of course, if you don't want to have to, if you've suffered through that several times and you don't want to do it again, you're thinking, hey, this has got solar and this has got batteries. That's awesome. Right after we got our power walls, we had an outage. There was, I think that was the winter of 2020, maybe. I'd have to go back and look. But there were trees that were covered in ice and they were falling and taking down power lines. And there were some places that were out of power for 3 weeks. We were lucky; it was only about 4 or 5 hours. But during that time, the power walls took over and everything was fine. And if you have a house that has natural gas, you might think, oh, I don't need electricity. But yes, you do, because all the fans that run that run on electricity. So even if you have natural gas and the power goes out, you won't have heat. So having power walls is great. And especially if I was in an area with an unreliable grid, I would definitely be, if I was house shopping, looking for someplace like this that had that built in. And these aren't that big. I don't know what the square footage is. We couldn't find it in the article, but they're selling for $500,000. And I think the article did say it was slightly above the average new home price in the area for something this size. So they are getting a premium. And like you said, Mark, if you're installing them from scratch, then like when I had my power walls installed, they had to put an extra circuit breaker, a second one in. And if you're building from scratch, you don't have that problem. All the wires get run within the wall like normal wires, and it goes right up to the solar roof that you have up there. And so it's definitely the cheapest way to do the install, or I should say the most affordable way. And then also, if it's just rolled into your mortgage, then it's not like you have this extra loan or payment or coming out of pocket for tens of thousands of dollars. It's just part of your monthly mortgage. So yeah, this is definitely the way to go. It's really cool, and I expect to see more of these because developers want to stand out, right? They want things that attract customers to come buy their property and not buy it from some other development. So doing this is the way to go.
Yeah, we saw one development, I think in the same area, Texas Metro, not necessarily the same city or anything, where they did more American-sized houses that had the solar roof on them already, and a Powerwall, but I don't think they were necessarily as integrated as this was. But the square footage on this, I believe, was much smaller than you would expect looking at American houses, but it was actually in line with the area. Again, $500,000 for whatever size it is.
Yeah. So again, hopefully this will spur on some white papers, and it'll spur on some developers taking notice that this development sold out quickly, and it's probably the redundancy that they're offering for energy for these places that certainly helped in that situation. Because as Patrick mentioned, being in an area that you experience a loss of power for a few days is it's mind changing for you, because you've lived through it. You know what a pain in the butt it is, and you know that you would rather not experience that again. So if you had a chance, you were moving anyways, looking for a place that have those redundancies built in certainly would be a seller for you.
If you have to throw away a bunch of food because your refrigerator didn't stay cold, or if you had insulin you had to toss, or your CPAP machine stopped working, or whatever, there's a lot of serious issues, and in addition to just the sweltering heat of and discomfort.
Yeah. Like here, the power grid isn't known as unreliable, but it's not exactly unheard of to have a power outage for a little bit. Like this month, I think we've had at least 6 under 2-minute outages, and one that was a couple minutes long, all at night, thankfully, or not thankfully. Either way,
just enough for your old style alarm clock to lose the time and not wake you up for work.
It would be if I didn't have it, have them back by battery. But yeah, exactly. And so, thankfully, I do have the battery, and my wife can finish whatever she's doing. And she seems to always be cooking when the power goes out. And then the batteries look like, oh, you got 12 minutes of usage left. Oh crap! But really, when she finishes what she's doing, and then it's like, oh yeah, you can make it through the whole night. Oh, great, thanks. And that changes the way you think about stuff. Like as Patrick said, when you have to throw away a whole set of food, or if you're renting, you can put it on insurance. But you don't want to put it on insurance if you're a homeowner. That's raise your rates for one fridge full of food. But you also don't want to see it go away either.
You mean insurance companies aren't charities to help people out? They're for-profit companies and will raise your rates on you if you actually use their services?
Sounds like a scam.
Yeah, you pay me in case something happens, and then I won't pay you, or I will, but I'll charge you. But yeah,
yeah,
great gig.
I mean, a lot of them have become investment banks, basically. So they've really changed their. If you thought they were bad before, like watch when they become banks.
Oh no, or hedge fund owned.
Yeah, like that exactly. Like the buying all your favorite brands and running them under.
Well, what do you think out there? Is this something that would entice you to buy, even if it was a little bit more than a regular house? Does that make sense for you? Next time you're purchasing, are you going to be looking for energy independence with the ability to go to have a battery backup and to be able to survive a outage in your neighborhood? Or is your neighborhood completely reliable? Can you not remember the last time that you had an outage? Does that make sense to you that you would spend money on a system like this? Put it in the comments and let us know what you think about having your house redundant to be able to help you in an energy shortage or brownout situation.
I'll tell you, I'm looking to go more of it, not back to nothing.
Yeah, and we talked about the outage coverage, which is great, but there's other benefits to it too. For example, I'm on the time of day plan here, and that means that we get charged a low price below the standard price at night, and then the higher price during the day. Well, but during the day, I'm on solar or batteries, so I don't care about the higher price. So the only time I buy electricity is at the off-peak low price. So that's great. And even if I'm using that in the winter just to charge the batteries, then that means I'm not using the grid during the day. So there's an economic benefit. Even if it costs you a little more, I'm just saying you can get a payback for it. And if they have the thing that's really pays is if they have a VPP event, because they're paying you like 10 times the amount of the electricity that you pay them. So I bought it for 6 cents overnight, and now I'm getting $1.70 for it during the day. I mean, that's great. Yeah, I'll do that all day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was tagging on earlier. Texas in the winter is a double whammy because now not only is the grid not winterized, but now you've also got again the increased usage because a lot of them are actually not hooked up, but with electric heat because they don't expect to use it at all. And so,
oh, right, that's a good point. Yeah, if you in Texas, you probably don't have a furnace, and if it does get cold, you're just going to go buy a space heater, which is going to be something you plug in. That's a good point.
Yep.
Or they've got like the emergency strips in their system, but those drink the juice.
Right. Yes.
Exactly what you want during an outage.
Exactly. Yeah, drawing more from a system that's already about to or is having trouble keeping up.
Right.
Well, thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, press that subscribe button, and help us out. And we'll get together next time, and we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla life.
It's not participating with the bubble.
Bye-bye.
Catch us again on Friday this Friday, on Monday for the Tesla Life Express Edition 2. And we'll see you there. And if you want to, Sunday, let's chat for Casey. Bye-bye now.